Welcome back. The WeSIzwe Military Veterans Association is facing disbandment. This follows an announcement made by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa after an NEC meeting in May. The MKMVA has now requested a meeting with the ANC's highest decision-making body to seek further clarity on the decision. MKMVA President Kebby Maphatsoe joins us now to talk more about this. Mr. Maphatsoe, grateful for your time. Thank you so much for speaking with ENCA. So, over the weekend, you wrote a letter to say you wanted a meeting with the ANC leadership, including the Peace and Stability Subcommittee, which ultimately was dealing with issues of the disbandment of the MKMVA. Have you got any feedback to that letter?
The letters that we have written, let me say evening, sir, and your viewers. The letters that we have written, the one is from November, the one is of January this year. The last one, it was on Sunday. The two letters, in fact, all of them, we have not received any written acknowledgement except the one that were told verbally by Comrade Jesse Duarte that indeed they have received our request of the meeting, but we're asking ourselves for how long are we going to meet with them? Whereas when there are other people, they meet with them very fast. But when it is with us, it takes long. That's what I'm saying. It's November, it's January, it's now June. We have requested this letter because of these rumors that we are going to be disbanded.
Well, it's more than a rumor at this stage, because coming into work this evening, I was listening to a clip of the ANC spokesperson, Mabe, saying that a pronouncement will be made on the MKMVA's future or any decisions at the end of a National Working Committee meeting that is currently underway. It sounds very much like this is the end of the road for the MKMVA.
No, that is not the end of the road of MKMVA. You know, many people, they don't understand how Mkhonto WeSIzwe Military Veterans Association was formed. If you check in the constitution of the ANC, you'll never find any abbreviation or any sentence that speaks about Mkhonto WeSIzwe Military Veterans Association. When Mkhonto WeSIzwe was disbanded in 1993 at Orlando Stadium, that was the end of Mkhonto WeSIzwe, and we were left on our own. But as time goes on, we realize that we cannot just live like that. Let's form ourselves into an association. And we requested the ANC to assist us in that. And in 1996, then there was the birth of Mkhonto WeSIzwe, formed by former members of Mkhonto WeSIzwe, not by the African National Congress. However, we are members of the African National Congress. We were in the ranks of Mkhonto WeSIzwe, fighting against the apartheid regime under the leadership of the African Command, under the command and the leadership of the African National Congress.
Okay.
But after the disbandment, we then formed ourselves, and that is why people must check our constitution.
So to be clear, Mr. Maphatsoe, and pardon me for jumping in, are you saying tonight that the ANC has no power to disband the MKMVA because they did not set it up specifically and you approached them after you'd created the structure? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you know, in 2007, we in Polokwane tried to push us to be in the constitution of the ANC, and were defeated by the delegates at the conference that no, you cannot be a league of the African National Congress. In 2012, we tried again, we were defeated, we accepted that the branches do not want us to be a league of the African National Congress. Therefore, we are existing as an association, and that is why there's an article of associations, how associations are disbanded. So we want to understand whether this one is different from the other one.
But here's the issue at the moment. The MKMVA is pretty much divided because there's yourself, the MKMVA, and an MK Council, which were members who left the MKMVA because they said you were misrepresenting them. You've got right now the public persona, really, of the MKMVA is of a group that makes public appearances and provides political commentary. So if the ANC says it wants no association with that, can you actually do anything about it?
Look, at the 54th ANC conference in Nasrec, the conference resolved that the unity process that has been started by the then SG of the ANC, Comrade Kebby Maphatsoe, the national chair now, should proceed in uniting cadres of Mkhonto WeSIzwe. And they did a very good work. Again, the resolution was implemented. We were called by the officials of the ANC, both the MK National Council and MKMVA, that these are the things that you must do to go and form an inclusive association of all members of Mkhonto WeSIzwe. One, it was that you must make sure that the welfare of the comrades is prioritized. Two, make sure that you clean your database. Three, make sure that you work towards unity. Four, make sure that you go to the conference. And that was 2019. It's 2021 now. That thing has not happened, but we were under the guidance of the Peace and Stability Subcommittee of the ANC led by Tony Ngeni. And the report is ready. We are ready for the conference. We have finalized everything. We are caught by surprise. Now that was supposed to be disbanded. We want to know the reasons why.
So, as current president of the MKMVA, because there are these two groups at the moment, do you at least concede that for the MKMVA to have any kind of existence that precedes you as the current people, you may actually need to step aside and have new leaders who aren't tainted by the dramas of the past few years in those positions?
We don't know what are those dramas because we never had.
Well, Mr. Maphatsoe, there was drama when you eventually ended up with an MK Council, people who said you were misrepresenting them in some of the utterances that you were making. That's how you ended up with two MK veteran organizations. That's how you ended up with a process where you're now being called on to unite, which, according to the ANC, has so far been a failure, and that's why they want the whole thing disbanded.
That is the narrative that they have been pushing, because this, if you can check, most of them are the older generation that came before us in Mkhonto WeSIzwe. Those people had positions in government. Some of them were in business doing very well. Now that they are no more doing well, they think they can use the association MKMVA for their own personal interests. That is why we refused. As these generations, the younger generation, that no, we have suffered also. You can't use this vehicle that we fought so hard to be strong. We revived MKMVA, it was dead. In fact, we were told by some of them, why are you reviving a dead thing? So now that Mkhonto WeSIzwe Military Veterans Association is very strong and is dealing with the issues of the welfare of comrades and the dependence of our comrades, including the repatriation, exhumation, and the burials of our comrades who have been doing very well. So now we can't allow people who are senior to us to form a parallel structure. The ANC was supposed to have disciplined them immediately. If it was in the ANC, another province forms a parallel structure, the ANC was going to discipline them or expel them from the ANC. But with us, we are treated differently. So that's why we're saying we're going nowhere. We're still a structure, and there's no one that's got the right to disband us.
Interesting. Pardon me again, interesting that you say that the ANC should have disciplined the MK Council, but yet earlier you were saying the ANC has no power to even disband you. So I'm wondering how they'd be able to discipline other members but not be able to deal with you.
I cannot speak to, for those people because I don't know how they are formed. They were formed. That is why I'm saying the ANC was supposed to discipline them. I can't speak on their behalf. I'm not their spokesperson.
Let me ask you this then. You say you revived the MK. Variations of that will differ. Some will say again that it's basically become an organization that rocks up outside court and other public events with members who, from what we've seen in the pictures, are possibly slightly older than the country's democracy, but I don't want to dwell on that. I want to ask you how you as the current president feel about the possibility that this organization that you say you revived could ultimately die under your watch.
It will never die. You know, the last generation that is coming after our generation, the young lions, are still very young, very fit, who can take this organization 20 years again forward. So it's not going to die now. We may pass on, but this generation that is coming after us, there are many. They are called the Bani Molokwane detachment, and we have also the self-defense units who are members of Mkhonto WeSIzwe. There are many of these people. They will make sure that where we have left off, they will continue with the program of making sure that into Zama-Commander ziyalunga sisaphila.
Kebby Maphatsoe, President of the MKMVA, good to speak to you tonight, sir. Thank you.